My son threw me out of the house for Christmas. I had nowhere to go, so I hired at the home of a billionaire. What I do, her deaf son spent a lot of time in the garden she was in charge of. No one at all, he and I had never talked before, but when she saw me sign with him, she said 5 words that made my whole body feel cold. Where have you been for so long? But let me come back to from the beginning, to the day my life changed. The day before Christmas, love and family should have been the focus of the day, but my son kicked me out on like street trash. My name is Elias Thorne and I am 60 years old. For 35 years, I was in charge of a group of garden centers and plant nurseries. Athens, Georgia. There are 5 places that I built from scratch with my own 2 hands. My love of plants and my knowledge of them. My hands, what I know about plants, and my desire to grow pretty things. On paper, it was worth around $20 million. The stores, the house I lived in, a life of hard work, investments, and real estate all summed up in cold numbers. But the numbers don't show everything. There is no talk about Marissa, my name. The woman I was married to for 32 years, the love of my life and the mother of my children. Darius is my only child. She died of lung cancer 4 years ago. She never smoked at all. She had never smoked, but the cancer still found her. I was shocked when she fought for a year. I spent all my money on treatments and hope while I was with her all the time. About miracles that didn't take place. Her last words were, "Take care of Darius, but don't spoil him. Teach him to be strong and stand on his own." I couldn't maintain that promise. I did the wrong thing. I felt sad after Marissa left. Darius, who was 26 years old at the time, stayed with me to take care of you, Dad. He told her, "You're not alone," but he didn't mean it. It was simple. I gave him everything because I was sad and by myself. Everything he asked for. He gave him hints about everything he needed. My car won't start, Dad. See? Would you like a new one? It was $15,000 that I gave him. Dear Dad, I want to open a car lot. Could you put money in? I told him $1 million. After 8 months, the business shut down. Hey, Dad, we need a place to live before we can get married. Could you help us? For $500,000, they bought them a house in the nice Buckhead neighborhood. And that went on for 4 years. Every loan was turned down, but every request was granted. Every investment that was lost for no good reason was paid back. I didn't say anything, though, because Darius, that was all Marissa had left. I was scared. I was scared that if I said no or said he would leave if I told him no, leaving me by myself. 6 months ago, Das came to me with a different deal. Mom and Dad, Geneva is pregnant. We're having for the baby. We need more space and safety. Son, good job. That good. The house you bought us is too small, though. Dad, your house is really too big. It's too big for one person. It's mine, home, that's where your mom and I lived. I get it. But would it be better if we all lived together or as a family? You can trust Geneva to look after you, and once he is born, you can see your grandson every day. Something about I didn't like the proposal, but the thought of being close to my family again, of having the grandson looked good. You're all going to sell your house? Not at all. We'll rent it out to make money, but we'll live in your big house with you. Everyone has enough space. I need to think about it. He didn't wait for me to answer, though. After 2 weeks, he came back. Chelsea and all of their stuff came with them. For now, it was said, while we get things in order, temporary became permanent. They moved, took the best rooms on the 2nd floor, and changed the way everything looked, without first telling me or asking me. Dad, I love how the house looks. That's so out of date and plain. Darius said it should be changed. They took something away. She lost a piece of herself with every change. The walls she chose, the furniture we bought together, and the color she chose machine sewed. Please don't change anything in her room, I begged. The room where my mom and I slept. Dad, that's the master bedroom, the largest one. It's important for both of us and the baby. Do not be selfish. Mom isn't here. Not any longer. There's only one room. It's more important to us than to you. I was moved to the housekeeper. used to sleep in a small room in the back of the house that was used as staff quarters. I agreed because I was afraid of being on their own. As soon as the baby was born, things got worse. My grandson Silas is a cute boy who should have made things better for me. But Geneva and Darius used him as a weapon. Dad, you can't see Silas until you help us with the costs. Dad, Silas needs really pricey diapers, designer clothes, and a special recipe. Can you pay? I paid for everything, just to be close to my grandson, who was the only family I had. I had left. I was never allowed to touch him, though. You're too old, Dad. You could trip and fall him. Your hands are shaking. Not safe. Take a good look at him from far away. Yours? The house was turned into a jail. The baby was asleep, so I couldn't make any noise. I couldn't cook because you were in the way in the kitchen. The TV was being used, so I couldn't watch it. The living room and my businesses are my favorite places to grow plants. Darius began to join in. Dad, I need your help. I can bring the stores and everything else up to date. More money making. It was only to help him that I let him into the business bills. To help you learn how to run a business. He started to decide things without first telling me. He fired good employees, switched suppliers to ones that were cheaper but not as good, and prices went up. And the money that was made started to go away. Where does the money go, David? To bring things up to date, Dad. To putting money into growth. Do you know how businesses work these days? I've worked in this field for 35 years. Years? Yes, that's why it doesn't move. It needs new people and fresh thoughts. My thoughts and my vision. He brought papers 3 months before Christmas. Plenty of sheets. Dad, I need you to sign this. It will help you keep better track of the money. To stay safe. What do you want to keep me safe from? From you. You are older now. You sometimes get lost. You forget things. If something goes wrong, we need to make sure everything is okay. In order, I'm not lost. My mind is in great shape. Hey, Dad, yesterday you forgot where you put your keys. You forgot about last week. What day it was. They were not true. But he said them with I was so sure that I began to doubt myself. Is it true that I was getting lost? Did my mind play a joke on me? Dad, just sign it. It's for your own good. That day I didn't sign. I stopped because of something. A voice inside that seemed to say, Marissa, Elias, don't do it. He is not trustworthy. It made Darius mad. You don't trust your own son. Your only family, not that. I only need Mai to look over the papers first, a lawyer. There's no need for a lawyer. I'm your kid. I'll watch out for you. I still want someone else to look at it. He yelled and left. Things were never the same after that. He became cold and far away. Geneva was over. They told me not to see or talk to Silas at all. You need to sign before you can see your grandson. To be clear, it was just emotional blackmail. It worked, though, because every day it made me feel even worse not to see Silas. It was Christmas. I wished things would get better, that the Christmas spirit would make them nicer. I got there are gifts for everyone, but Silas gets the most. Do you clothes everything or what a baby 6 months old might need? I went in the early hours of December 24th, early to go downstairs. I felt like making breakfast like I did when Marissa was here. Living. We always eat pancakes, bacon, and cinnamon rolls as a family. She was there, though, when I walked into the kitchen. She gave me a dislike. What do you have to do here? I'm making breakfast for everyone. Not at all today. You're not a part of our plans. But Christmas Eve is tonight. We're a family. Hey, Darius, come here, she screamed. My son came down, curling up. What's going on? Your dad doesn't get that he's not welcome. Today, Dad, Geneva's mom and dad are on their way. The rest of her family and brothers. We really don't want you here. You're making the party bad. The words hit me hard. Do a bad job. It's mine. We now own this house. You need to leave because we need to be alone. Leave. Where should I go? I don't know. A hotel or a friend's house? It doesn't bother me. Tell Darius to leave, please. My name is Dad. It's the holiday season. You're also annoying. An angry old man who won't give up his power and won't let's live our lives. Okay, now you can leave. And maybe, if you work for us, if it's okay to come back after they are signed. I'm not going to sign anything until my lawyer looks it over. Then stay away. Leave now and don't come back until you're fair. I'm not going to leave my house. It's not possible for me. He pulled out his phone and showed me something on the screen. This is my house's deed. It was signed 2 months ago. That's not possible. I never gave it away. Are you sure you remember what you signed 2 months ago? The ones I told to put together the records. These were the papers that showed the business and house were being sold. Everything. You write your name on them. I was stuck. But Dad, what kind of lawyer do I have? I hired the person you thought was your lawyer. I made plans for everything. And now it's all mine. The house, the kids' rooms, the bills, and everything else. That is dishonest, show me. No one forced you to sign the papers. You did it on your own free will. It's all okay. Dad, you are nothing and don't have anything. So leave before you should call the police and be taken away by force. Geneva was happy and smiling at me. Shame, it hurts me. You have 30 minutes to pack what you can carry. After that, I locked the door and will call the police if you try to come back. The staff had put me in a small room, so I went up to it. Clothes and a few pictures of Marissa were all I had with me when I packed. My hands were shaking. It only had $1,000 in it. That was all. I was unable to reach my bank. Records. The things that Darius took from them were all gone. I didn't have any cards to use. They were no longer going to happen. I did not have a place to live. It was his. I had nothing to do. That was also his. I was on the street with nothing and no one when I was 60 years old. Leaved. I went downstairs with my small bag. Darius was holding his at the door. There is no sign of regret as the arms are crossed. When you're ready, Dad, sign the last few papers that say call me if you think you're not thinking straight. You can come back after that, but not as we took care of you as a guest in your staff housing, not as the owner, because you're no longer able to take care of yourself. Why are you treating me this way? I'm yours, Father. I'll be your son. You need to get used to it. I heard the door slam shut in front of me. I was 60 years old and had built a huge business. It was Christmas. Was on the street and didn't have a place to live. I didn't know where to go, so I just walked around. Leave. It's likely that Darius and all of my other friends worked with me on business deals. Had told them something before. They shouldn't help me because I was crazy and dangerous. I sat down on a bench in the park for the first time in 4 years. It made me cry when Marissa died. I cried over everything I had lost. For my family, for the son I didn't have I thought I had, for the life I had built up and lost in an instant. A voice asked, "Are you okay, sir?" I looked up. A man in his 30s, he was well dressed and looked like he cared. "I'm fine," I lied. "Not at all, you're not. You're sad all by yourself on Christmas Eve. Where are you going to stay?" "Not at all. Family. Not any longer." The man joined me on the couch. I go by the name Raymond. "In charge of me is Mrs. Sterling, Vivian Sterling. It's possible that you know her because she runs Sterling Industries." I knew the name. Vivian Sterling was one of the most wealthy women in the U.S., the wife of a rich businessman. It was said she was really valuable. "What do I have to do with that?" "Hi, Mrs. Sterling wants to hire a gardener who loves plants, knows how to grow them and has worked with them before." "Good things. She needs a gardener badly, because she hasn't had one in a week, before the end of the year." "What do you mean by telling me this?" "Because you make me sad, but also honor. And Mrs. Sterling wants her to keep her honor. Did you ever do that, plants? It was 35 years ago that I owned 5 nurseries. Who owns it? They were taken from me by a friend. Son today. That's why I'm here." Raymond said, "Yes. Don't judge or feel sorry for them." "I get it. Would you like the job? It gives a lot of money. There are homes on the property. Also, Mrs. Sterling is nice. Be nice to her staff. Why are you going to help me?" "I don't know you." Since it's Christmas and no one, you shouldn't have to spend Christmas alone on the street. Also, I believe everyone should be given a second chance. Would you like one? He looked up at the sky for a sign, then turned around and asked Marissa where she was. What should I do? Something warm and sure hit me, and I could hear her voice. Thought, take it. Now is your chance to start over. I did say that, I agree. Raymond gave a grin. Okay, please, I'll show you the big house. You can start tomorrow. Tonight, go to bed in a real bed, eat something hot and get some rest. Tomorrow is the first day of your new life. It was nice to get into his Mercedes. As we left the park, I turned around and looked back. In the city where I lost everything I built. But now I was excited about I didn't know I wanted a second chance, but I was moving toward it. And even though my heart, there was a small spark of hope, even though everything looked lost and broken, to light. You can start building something new, better and true after you've lost everything and hit rock bottom. You can start to build something new, better and true once you've hit rock bottom. My new life was going to begin. That big house in Sterling was more than just a house. It was a world. It had tall walls and gardens that went on for acres around it. There are fountains, plants and sculptures. There are so many plants that it's the first time in I felt like I was at peace for a few hours. Roger took me to a small cottage at the house's back. This is where you'll live. Simple and cozy. It's been everything you need. Inside there was a bedroom and a small room. There is a kitchen, a bathroom and clean, simple furniture. Rest tonight, Raymond told me. It was 1,000 times better than Darius's staff quarters. Said, tomorrow at 8 in the morning, come to the main home, the main house. Sterling will want to meet you. And then I'll show you the gardens, everything you need to know. Then I'll show you the gardens and tell you everything else you need to know. Sterling will want to meet you. Thanks for this and the chance to do this. You don't need to say thanks. Thank Mrs. Sterling and show her why she should trust you. He left, leaving me alone in my new house. It's not very big, but it's mine for now. I lay down on the bed, and for the thought about what had happened for the first time in a long time. My boy had lied to me, taken everything and left me on Christmas. Got a job as a gardener. From having 5 nurseries to being a gardener who does other people's work. It was honest, but it was painful to say. I had to use my hands, and I loved it because I got to work with plants. Also, just maybe, that was just what I needed. The next morning I woke up. I got up early, showered and dressed in my best clothes. At 8 o'clock, I rang the main house's doorbell. A maid opened it. Hey, Mr. Thorne. Yes, Mrs. Sterling is ready for you in the back garden. Join me. We looked around the house. It looked good, but wasn't fancy, with family photos and art on the walls. It was alive. It wasn't a gallery. It was a home. When we got to the backyard, I saw her for the first time. Vicky Sterling. I read that she was 58 years old, but she looked younger. She didn't try to hide the gray streaks in her brown hair. No way too much makeup. A white blouse and jeans were on her. And she was on her knees planting something in the ground. She turned around when she heard me come in. Like mine, her eyes were green, smart and sad. Mr. Thorne, she said as she stood up, thank you for coming. Mrs. Sterling, thanks for the chance. Please call me. That sounds like it should be Vivian, and I'll call you Elias. It sounds good. I want you to know that Raymond told me a little about what's going on with you. That this house doesn't care about your past, just your present, and what goes on with you after this is important. Do you understand? Yes, good. I'll show you the gardens. We walked for an hour. They were big and pretty, but not very well taken care of, in some spots. It was clear that the last gardener had never done that before. This is my safe place, Vivian said. When my husband died 5 years ago, the only thing that kept me sane was working with dirt and plants in the gardens. It reminded me that life goes on even after losing someone. I get it. The same thing happened to me with my nurseries. After my wife died, we stopped looking. When we looked at each other, I saw something in her that I saw in you. Pain, loss, and being alone all over again. You get it, she said. Softly, I need this place to be perfect. It's not just a garden. It is a place that heals. Let me promise you that I will make it great. I also have a son named Marcus. He's 8 years old. He is deaf, and this garden is his favorite spot. He spends no one knows how to talk to him, so he stays here for hours by himself. Sign language is not used. It's not easy for me to learn a new language. Even though Marcus is being nice to me, I can tell that his rage. The house staff doesn't know. His special teachers at school, I told him, I know sign language, but he was off by himself. Vivian stopped. Really? We learned together with my wife's deaf sister. Could talk to her a long time ago. You remember, though. Vivian had tears in her eyes. Could you please? Talk to him. Try to get in touch. It would be an honor, of course. He comes to the garden around 3 p.m. after school. I'll be here if you could be here. She grabbed my hands. Her hands were shaky. You have no idea what this is. It means a lot to both of us. He's really lonely and cut off. I do not know how to contact him. Even though I'm his mom, I sometimes feel like we know each other. You're not strangers. He only needs someone who speaks the same language as him. She said yes, and right then things changed. We were no longer boss and worker. We were two hurt people trying to get better, trying to get in touch. I looked at the gardens and made lists of what I wanted to do for the next few hours. Plants to replace, spaces to redesign, and irrigation systems that need to be fixed. I loved it, even though it was hard work. I felt like I was useful and worth something for the first time in months or even years. Reason. At 3 cars in the afternoon, I saw him. Marcus was his name. He was a little boy with dark hair, and a backpack went into the garden. He sat down on a bench under I took out a book and stood next to a big tree. I moved slowly toward it. I did not wish to. He saw me when I got close enough, and his eyes got really big. In a clear, I didn't expect to meet anyone new. I used sign language and put up my hands. Hi, my name is Elias, and I'm the new gardener. Marcus did not move, working on it. He slowly raised his hands after that. Do you know how to talk like this? I did learn that a long time ago. What's your name? Marcus Franza, it's great to meet you. How are you? What are you reading? The book was about, he wrote, I like dinosaurs, especially the ones that ate plants like me. I smiled and said, I don't like meat. I agree. I don't like meat either. Veggies are better for me. And fruits, really? Do you really understand that in this, we could grow apples, strawberries, peaches, and other fruits in the garden? Marcus saw eyes sparkled. We can if your mom lets us. Yes, we did. Could plant all of your favorite fruits in a garden that is just for you. Please say yes. Then for the first time, Marcus smiled a big real smile that lit up his whole face for a long time. Behind me, I heard someone gasp. Vivian was there when I turned around. She had her hands over her mouth and tears were running down her face. She walked quickly over to us and got on her knees. She ran up to us, got down on her knees and started crying. Her sign language question was, Are you okay, my love? Mom, Elias is talking. He likes me and he's going to use Baroots to make a garden for me. Vivian looked at me and said, Those 5. These words made me sick. Where have you been my whole life? I had the best days I've had in a long time after that. I didn't know what to say because I felt the same way about her. I fixed things and planted new ones in the gardens from the beginning, moving things around. Marcus would come over every afternoon, and we'd talk about there were dinosaurs, plants, and many other things. It is how plants turn light into energy, and I taught him about it. Energy, about how each plant is unique and different. Am I unique? He asked me one day. You're very unique, I told her. Marcus, you are unique. There is no one else like you in the world. You can do things they can't, that they can hear. That's cool that you can talk with your hands. It's like having some places let you talk without making noise. You're different in a good way because you can't talk. When he smiled, I saw pride for the first time in his eyes. He was happy with who he was. Vivian stood back and watched us. Every once in a while, she would move closer to try to hear what we were saying. Marcus and I taught her sign language with love and patience, and she got better over time. Vivian asked me to meet her for coffee on the terrace after Marcus went to do his homework. "Elias, I want to thank you thanks for what you've done for my son. He's changed more in 2 weeks than in years. He's happier, more open, and he's a great kid who is smart and interested. He just needed to be told he was glad to have someone to talk to, but you did more than that. You gave him confidence, which I couldn't do. Love him. Love is the most important thing. Up until then, I didn't know how to get in touch with him. Love alone isn't enough." We were alone with our coffee and the gardens while we sat there in silence. "Please let me ask you a personal question." Things were beginning to change. "Of course," Vivian replied. "Your son, why did the person who threw you out do it? Was money the only thing that mattered?" "I believe that, but I also believe that I spoiled him. When my wife died, I gave him everything I had. I gave him the freedom to do anything without being held back or punished. Someone who thinks he can take anything, even from me, and you haven't tried to get it back. Legally yours. I've thought about it, but I don't have the money for lawyers. I have no proof, and to be honest, I'm tired of fighting, and sometimes I lose. You learn that you didn't need anything in the first place." That's very true. It's about staying alive. If I get stuck in the past, in the anger, because it's not fair, I can't live in the present. This present here, working with, it's better for me to get to know Marcus, talk to you, and be around plants rather than my past. They looked at me for a long time, and I couldn't tell what was in Vivian's eyes. It could be understanding, respect, or something else. She said when everyone thought I would lose it, "Sell everything, retire, and cry after my husband died." But I didn't. I ran his businesses and grew them. I proved that women can do it. They can do what men do, maybe even better, and I have no doubt about that. But in the process, I forgot how to be a mom because I was too busy showing everyone that I was the best who I was. I didn't pay enough attention to my son, the miracle that came into my life too late. I waited 30 years for this child, and when I finally got him, I was so happy. That's why I lost him. Even though we lived together, I was too busy at work. He still loves you. I can tell by the way he looks at you. You just need to learn how to talk to him. Every day you get better, thanks to you. Your willingness to give it a shot. Most moms in your shoes would just hire nannies, teachers. The most important thing is that you're here to learn and try. Vivian wiped her tears away. How can a gardener have so much? Since taking care of plants teaches you that everything takes time, always being patient, and that the most beautiful things come from There were very few seeds, and we all agreed. Give them a chance. There was a link between the boss and the worker which happened. We were both broken, but we met at the right time and place. As the weeks went by, things changed. Vivian started to spend more time with her boyfriend. We both knew she was doing more than just learning when she said she spent time in the garden. We planted, pruned, and planned together. Our hopes, our marriages, and the people we had lost were all things we talked about. "Have you ever thought about getting married again?" she asked me one day. I told her Nogas was unique and could never be replaced. I would never feel that way again. Now I'm not so sure. She turned red and I saw her for the first time. Not as the rich man, but as Vivian, a pretty but weak woman who lives by herself. A soft voice said, "Like me." I also haven't thought about getting married again. My husband was nice to me. He gave me everything, even Marcus. You've never given me what you're giving me now. I'm giving you a real conversation. Being with someone who sees me as a person, not a way to make money as a business leader like Vivian. Because that's what you are, Vivian. She was strong but also kind and honest. She got closer to me. Elias, it may sound strange, but I believe we've known each other for a very long time. We were both looking forward to meeting, and now it's happened. I agree, it's crazy. And then in the garden, with it was a soft, tender kiss in the flowers I had planted. with all the pain and hope we felt. When we broke up, both of us had tears in our eyes. We had only met a month before, so she thought it was crazy. We let it go because a month with the right person can be worth more than years with the wrong one. Carefully and over time grow like a plant. She smiled, which I really liked. But we were happy. Was about to be tested because my son had plans, and my past was about to catch up with me. My redemption wasn't part of that. 3 months after I started working at the when I moved into Sterling Mansion, my whole life changed. The gardens were doing great. Marcus was a different kid, one who was happier and loves his mom and Vivian more. I never thought I'd have hope again, but Vivian gave it to me. Our relationship grew on its own, like the plants we took care of together, without any stress or excitement. It was just the two of us, getting to know each other better, having fun and learning to love and trust each other again. Kids always know. One day we were planting strawberries, and I knew it was his garden because he signed it. "Do you like my mom?" "Yes, I do." "Does she bother you?" "No, she's better now. She smiles more, like flowers do when they're happy." It was a simple thing he said that moved me deeply. "I think your mom is unique, just like you. Will you stay with us forever?" "Yes, you both want me here." Vivian invited me to dinner that night. We were in the main house, but not in the staff kitchen. Instead, we were in the formal dining room with Marcus. He was excited and used sign language to tell us about his school day over dinner. It felt like a real conversation, like being with family. When Marcus went to bed, Vivian and I were sitting on the terrace under the stars. The air smelled like the jasmine I had planted. She said, "I need to tell you something. And you have to be honest with me. I always tell the truth." "What would you say?" "Things are getting worse between us and you believe them, right? It's not about the money or being stable. It's how you really feel. Vivian or something. When my son kicked me out, I lost $20 million, which is a lot of money. Realizing that money was weird set me free. It didn't make me happy, keep me safe, or give me anything in particular. Love, you've made me happier in 3 months than all of those things put together. It's real, decades of money." "I agree, because I feel the same way. And I want this to be real even more than that. Marcus needs a father figure, someone he can talk to. I want a partner who really sees me, and you?" "What do you mean?" "I want you to move in with Marcus and me in the main house. I'd like to marry you someday if you agree." My heart I thought it would burst, because it was beating so fast. "Are you sure?" "It hasn't been long. 3 months. My name is Elias and I'm 58 years old. I've been living alone for 5.5 months with I'm happier, more alive and more connected to you than I have been in years. I don't want to leave you. To hurry up and live, because life is short, and when you find something real, so keep it. Yes to everything. Yes to moving in and becoming to getting married, having kids and making a life together." We kissed outside under the stars, and I felt like I was in love for the first time in years. I'm happy now, but it won't last forever. Something can always get in the way of it. And my interruption had "the name is Darius." A week later, I heard it while working in the front yard. A car, a brand new high-priced BMW, pulled up in front of the mansion, and my eye was frozen. How did he find me? What did he want? He told me, "Dad, I'm walking. I finally found you. What are you doing here?" "Hey, Darius, I came to apologize and check on you." "I get it. Say you're sorry for taking everything from me and leaving me on Christmas." "I understand. I went too far. The baby, the money, and I made some bad decisions, but I've thought about them and want to make things right. You took care of everything, so I went on. But Dad, you're my dad. People in a family always forgive each other, right? Family doesn't hold grudges," is telling the truth. Darius looked around and saw the house and the lovely gardens, and his face changed. He was thinking about math. "Do you work here?" "Yes, as someone who gardens." "Dad, that's so sad. You used to have 5 nurseries, being paid to do physical work for someone else. It's honest work that they wouldn't get it. Who is in charge of you? Is she rich? This big house must be." Great item worth a lot of money. Do not worry about that, Dad. It's not safe for you to work at your age and health. How is your health? Good, but it won't always be that way. What will happen when things get worse? Who will take care of you? Is your boss a millionaire? No, I don't think so. I will because I am your son. You are no longer my son. You lost that when Dad, don't say that. I am your son, and I want you to know that. To take your grandson and me home with you. Silas wants to see you. You're not telling the truth. Silas doesn't want to see you. You didn't care that I held him, so you never let me. Still, he's bigger and stronger now, so he can hang out with his grandfather. Please come back. His voice sounded fake. It was too soft. Taking charge. Darius, why are you here? I already told you, but please explain. The truth. What do you want? His mask broke for a moment. Okay, the truth. It turns out that the businesses and nurseries aren't doing well. I thought it would be simple to handle them. Also, I need your help because I owe a lot of money. You took everything I had, so how can I help you? You know what to do. You might be able to come back as a consultant. Of course, there's no pay because there isn't any, but you could help the companies. I'll give you a cut when they make money again. You want me to? Would you be willing to work for free to get back the businesses you stole from me? I didn't do it. I want to see them. You lied to them and got them to sign them. That's not why I came here. To give you a chance to be a part of get the business back on track. As a gardener, I'm here for a reason. You're not that bad. In fact, I should have been like this the whole time. Always someone who works hard, makes things look good, and does good things, not just make money. Makes a difference, not just money. Darius got mad. Okay. Tell me who your boss is if you can't help me. She might need other help. I might be able to work with her. Stay away from Vivian. Vivian? Someone rich? Darius's eyes lit up. Dad, please don't, he begged. She doesn't care that you're with her. It's all my fault. You can get rich if you're with a billionaire and can get to her money. Please help me. You can ask her to lend you money for your son, grandson, or Vivian would never be a part of your greed family. Want more, Dad? I'm your flesh and blood. I don't know her, but I care about your family. You'd give up anything to help your family. You're no longer my family, and it's you should leave, but I won't until you talk to her. Meet me at least until you help your own son. Elias, is everything okay? Okay. I turned around and saw Vivian and Marcus standing next to the door. As they looked at the scene, Darius quickly changed his mind. A smile that makes you feel good and a body that is at ease. It had to be Mrs. Sterling. My name is Darius and I'm Elias's son. It was nice to meet you. Vivian looked at him coldly. I think my dad was lying when he said bad things about you. You sounded like you kicked he threw him out on Christmas. That you lied to him and stole his business? He didn't make it sound worse than it was, Mrs. Sterling. I only want to hear one side. That of an honest man who does his job well, cares about his son, and has given me more. I've been happier in the last 3 months than I ever have in my whole life. So no, I don't want to. I want to hear your side of the story. Please leave my property right away. Leave now or I'll call. Safety. And believe me, my security doesn't like people who break in. Darius looked at me with anger in his eyes and said, This isn't over yet, Dad. You're going to help me in some way. Yes, it is. Done. Goodbye, Darius. He swore and threatened as he left, but Vivian came up to me and grabbed my hand. Are you okay? She asked. Yes, I'm fine. You helped me and I will always help you. You're important to me and to us. I signed. That person is bad. That person has lost their way, I thought. He now wants to bring us all down with him. But we're not going to let him. That did happen. But I knew Darius wouldn't give up so easily, and I was right. A few weeks later, things went wrong. At first, gossip blog posts were short. A billionaire woman named Vivian Sterling is said to be dating her gardener. The gardener could be her true love or just after her money. Next was the telephoto lens. Hurricane sites put up pictures of Vivian and me kissing and hugging in the garden. And finally, I was sued by Darius for not taking care of my family. He said that He told me I owed him money for years of taking care of Marissa when she was sick. He died to care for us and he should be paid for it. It was all lies, but the lawsuit was well known and the news talked about it. Gardener with $1 million leaves family for billionaire. Vivian was very mad. I'm going to mess things up. If he wants something, don't give it to him. I'm going to get the best lawyers. The things he wants are a fight, money, and attention. But he's making your life worse. For my part, it makes us look like two people who love each other. What we are. The rest doesn't matter. And if this affects Marcus, it should affect other people as well. When other kids make fun of him for this, we teach him to be strong. Our lessons for the past few months have been to teach him not to let what other people say about him shape who he is. Vivian you're right, but I still want to do something. I want to show you something, the world, your son, that this is real and that you're not just after money. You're the man I love. How are you going to show that? By getting married. Signing a prenup that makes it clear you don't want to get married now. This week I want my money. If we split up, you won't get anything. That will stop. Everyone is quiet. Vivian, I don't need to prove anything to you, but I need everyone to hear this. I picked you because I wanted to, not because I had to or because not to trick you, but because you're the man I want by my side. Let's do it. Let's get married. Prenup written down. We're going to do everything and live our lives no matter what other people say. And Marcus wants to know that true love exists and that families can be built in many ways, and that standing up for the people you care about is important. Following a week, we got married in a small ceremony in the garden we had both worked on. Marcus was the main witness. As he carried the rings, he had the biggest smile I'd ever seen. Marcus could understand what I said when I said my vows out loud and with signs. I promise to love, respect, and honor you, Vivian, every day of my life. I promise to be Marcus's dad and your partner, not because I want your money or fame, but because having you in my life makes it better. I found something in you that I thought I had lost forever. Home, Vivian. I promised Elias that I would love, respect, and honor you every day. I promise to learn from you my whole life. I will use what you know to help me, because you love things that grow. And I promise that we're going to grow something beautiful, not just plants, but a real family, promise, full of love. Marcus clapped his hands in sign language and waved his raise your hands in the air to show that you agree. It was the best time of my life. People heard about the wedding, but this time the tone was different because the prenup was out in the open. It was very clear that I had given up any rights to Vivian's money. Gardener Mary has a lot of money, but she doesn't want it. She wants true love. That's exactly what Darius tried to stop. He showed up at the wedding without being asked. They were making a scene, but Vivian's security kept them safe. He screamed when they let him out, but they took him out before he could get in. Dad, you'll feel bad about this. I'm going to take everything from you again. These, I said in a calm voice, I have nothing left to take. I have love alone, which is good. Someone gave me a gift after the wedding. You will never get it or understand it. There was a lot of legal papers inside the envelope. What is it? Open it. What I read made no sense to me. You bought all 5 of my nurseries. Yes, Darius sold them because he wasn't able to make money off of them. Vivian, I bought them through a second business so he wouldn't know it was me. They're not yours, though. Elias, these are ours. You can have them back if you want to. We could sell them, make them back to how they were, or do something else. You make the choice because they are once again yours. Tears came down your face. I'm embarrassed and don't know what to say. Please don't say anything. Let's just be. Together, let's make something new. It should be pretty like this garden. But more people can find out what we did if it's bigger. Peace and Darius and Das lost beauty and meaning. Everything you bought him, from nurseries to a house, because he spent too much because he didn't think. He's now back where he left you. How do you feel about people on the street with nothing? This isn't revenge. It's just natural justice. The results of his actions are, And maybe, just maybe, this will teach him something about how he acts. To learn, just like what you went through taught you. And that night in his sleep, Vivian and I were sitting in our garden under the stars where we had our first kiss. What's the funniest thing is, I said, if Darius hadn't thrown me out and taken everything, I never would have found this. I would not have found you. Marcus and I would not have met. I would never have learned that money doesn't really make you happy. That comes from having love, real relationships, and a reason to live. Do you thank him now? Not at all. I know what he did, even though it was mean, led me to you. It was perfect for me to be with you, Marcus. And in this life. Now what should we do with him? Marisa, should we give him another chance? It's what your late wife told you to do. I thought about it a lot. Not yet. First, he needs to really fall apart. He needs to get it. What he lost. He lost more than just the money. He lost his father, his family, and his honor. And maybe when he gets that, if he ever does. But on our terms, with yes, Elias Thorne, you are a very wise person, but only sometimes. I'm not the man who had the worst lessons and was lucky enough to find something better on the other side. And in the garden we worked on together, under the stars, the smell of flowery things in the air. I got the main idea. It's possible to lose everything to find what's important. When you find it, you hold on tight because that's what it takes. What's important? Not money or fame, but love, family, and real things, Link. I had finally found it. After I married Vivian a year ago, my life was not the same as when Darius threw me out on Christmas Eve. The 5 nurseries were no longer just places to do business for us. They were places where we could get together with other people, taught poor people how to grow their own food in a garden, how to make the world a better place. He was 9 years old now, and a child who was bright and sure of himself, very different from the one I met. There were he and other kids at his school learned sign language with Vivian's help. He was no longer by himself. He had a life outside of work and friends, and every afternoon he still went to the garden. But now he brought some friends, and all of us, they learned how to plant. They grew bigger. Now he called me Papa Elias, and I had not felt that way in years when he did that. Being proud to be a real dad. Not to make money, I would gladly give up anything to be able to watch a child grow and be a part of that. Every day, Vivian and I worked together. She was still able to run her huge business, but this time she did it with more balance and time for Marcus, me, and us. Family style. Marisa and I had built a base together. The Sterling Foundation is named for my late wife and Vivian's late husband, to thank them for what they did for us, and to make something that would help other people. The main goals of the foundation were to help disabled children go to school and to start a community garden. Plans and help for older people whose families have left them, because I knew how they felt and didn't want anyone else to deal with it. It had been a while since I heard from Darius. It had been months since he had seen Raymond, who still worked for Vivian and had become a good friend. One afternoon, Raymond came to see him, trying to find me. Elias, there's someone at the gate. He says he's your son. His health is bad. At first I wanted to tell him no and kick him out. After what he did to me, he didn't deserve even 1 minute of my time. But then I remembered Marcus and how we taught him to be kind and give people a second chance, about starting over and being better than the people who hurt you. I told him to let him go, but tell him to go to the garden instead of the house. After 10 minutes, I saw my son. It was a surprise. He was very skinny now. His clothing was wrinkly, and he had a messy beard, dirty skin, and dark circles under his eyes. He looked broken. He said, "Hi, Dad," but his voice was weak. "Darius, after everything I did, I know I shouldn't be here, but I have nowhere else to go." "Where is Geneva?" Silas asked. "We lost everything when they left 4 months ago. Geneva said she didn't marry a loser. She took Silas to her parents' house and told me I couldn't go. She should have helped herself get better. I saw them when I got my act together, but I don't know how to get my pleas calmed down." I'm not sure how to be a person. I told them to sit down and showed them a... He slowly sat down on the bench. It looked like his whole body hurt. When was the last time? I don't know if you ate today or yesterday. Stay here. I got ready at home. I gave him a sandwich with fruit and juice when I got back. Darius took it. Thank you. He didn't say anything while he ate, so I watched him and thought about how we got here. How the baby I held, the kid I raised and the teen I raised, they are now what I taught them to be. Dad, I didn't come here to ask for money. I know I don't deserve it. I came to ask you for something else. Forgive me. I know I don't deserve it. I know what I did. I took something from you and threw you out. I was wrong and I can't forgive you. I get it now. It made you feel like trash. Because it happened to me, I knew how it felt. Geneva did to me what I did to... I saw how bad I was when I was on the street by myself with nothing. What do you want me to do with that? I don't expect anything. I'm just going to leave it alone. I want you to know that I finally understand how ashamed and disgusted I feel. I'm upset with myself and would change everything if I could. But I can't. I'm sorry, I said. I'll leave now and you won't hear from me again. We didn't answer and I thought about him waiting. Where have you been? Overnight stays in shelters. Sometimes I can find a spot on the street. I don't know what you're going to do. Get a job, any job, and save money. I hope to show Geneva that I can get better one day, so she'll let me see if she doesn't forgive you, son. I'll have to deal with that. I don't have to live with what I did to you because I made something better and new which made me happy. I understand. I saw the news about your dad. I'm happy for you about your wedding and your new family. You deserve to be happy after that. I'm sorry for everything you've been through. Vivian showed up in the Marcus, and Vivian was seeing what was going on from the terrace in the garden. Vivian asked, "Is this Darius?" "Yes." She walked up to me and looked at my son with mixed feelings. "I know, ma'am, and I understand if you want me to leave. I don't want you to leave yet. I need to tell you something." She should say something that her dad doesn't know. "Cleus, in the past year I've seen you grow and do well. Free yourself from the past and the chains of a tight family to become the man you were meant to be. It's been great for me, Marcus, and everyone else you touch. I've seen you look at pictures of Darius when he was younger, though. You talk about the good times he had before he became greedy and lost control of his money. Even if it's only a little, you miss your son. Not the son who lied to you, but the boy he used to be. Vivian, I'm done. I'm not telling you to forgive him or give him money, but I believe in second chances. You gave me one and I took it. An old man who has nothing, and look at what we made. Darius might deserve a chance to show he can change." Darius was sad. "Mrs. Sterling, you're right. I don't deserve your kindness. It's not about what you deserve. It's about what we choose. To be kind people who give chances with terms and limits, but what do you see?" she asked Marcus in sign language. "What do you think? Should we help Darius?" Marcus, who was smart like a child, had, "Yes, because everyone needs someone to believe in them like Elias did." The person who wasn't included signed. She looked at me and said, "My love, you make the choice. But no matter what, we're here for you." I took a deep breath and thought of everything. The hurt and betrayal, but also the forgiveness and second chances. Who I was after I lost everything. Last but not least, I told Darius, "I'm going to give you something that I need so I don't have to give it to you." Without thinking about what might have happened if Dad, what is it? "What's up, Dad, anything?" "A job at one of the nurseries, the smallest one. Taking care of plants for minimum wage, taking care of the cleaning, hard work and housing for a few employees every 3 months for 6 months. I'm not done yet, Dad. These are the rules, these. No way to get to company money. Not enough control over other workers. You only talk to me when I come up with the idea. You learn, work, and show that you can take care of things. And if you change in 6 months, we'll look at the next step if you lie, steal, or do something else bad. It's over if you lie. Not even a second chance or an explanation. It's over. Do you understand?" "Sure. I agree with everything." "Thanks, Dad. will not let you down. You've let me down before. You now have the one more chance to show that what happened doesn't make you who you are and that you can do better. Ray took Darius to the nursery that was the most remote that afternoon. He gave him clean clothes, a place to stay, clear rules, and a strict boss who would always keep an eye on him. I got a hug from Vivian that night. I'm happy with I know that wasn't fun for you, but I needed to do it for my own safety. Why is that? No matter what, he's still my son. I want to think that people can change. I changed your life and you changed mine. Danny might also be able to change. If he doesn't, I'll know I did the right thing. I did everything I could to let him choose, and he did. I can now go on, not having to feel bad. The next 6 months opened my eyes. He put in a lot of work and got there early. He left late and didn't say anything bad about what he had to do. His boss said he was quiet, humble, and eager to learn. I dropped by to see how he was doing without telling him. What I saw shocked me while I watched. He was teaching other workers things I taught him as a child to help him do his job, understand plants, how to care for them, and how to wait. In the 5th month, Geneva came to the nursery to look for Darius. She asked, "Where is he?" "I need to talk to him," she said. "Why?" I asked. "Going to see that day. So tell him he's not worth living. It's sad that you have to work for minimum wage. That if he would get us real money to live the life we want if he loved me that much. You, what? Will Darius work to make things good for both of you? To give you what you want or what you need? Silas is he's my son, so I expect the best for him. Silas needs a father who is there for him and is honest. Hard at it. That's the best, not simple money. You don't get it. 'Cause I gave my son everything, I know what you mean. He was never taught how to work for anything. See where that got him? Would you rather Silas be better than Darius? Genève was processing in peace. Darius is changing. I kept going. He's being taught how to work hard and get things. And if you love, you should help him if you love him. Do not make him go back to the old ways. What do you want me to do? Spend time with my parents? Always? You must decide if you love your husband just the way he is or for what he can do for you. And you have to live with that choice. She didn't say anything to Darius before she left, so he didn't know she was there. I didn't tell him, because I didn't want to get in the way of his progress. At the end of 6 months, we got together. I was in charge of Vivian Raymond. I began with Darius Darisman. That was 6 months ago. The boss has a good report. He says, "You've done a lot of work and been good about it. How do you feel about that?" He said he was tired but good. I feel better than I have in years, because every night I know I worked hard all day. No one gave me anything, and what I have is mine. I earned mine through work. Have you learned anything? I have. That doing honest work is better than getting free stuff, and that plants need things just like people do. They need time and care to grow. You can't force anything to happen. Wait for the right time. I've also learned that I was a fool. It was a waste of time to be someone I don't want to be for years. Now what do you want? I still want to work at the nurseries, but not as a boss, but as an employee who wants to learn and grow, and maybe being good enough one day that my son will be proud of me. She asked for a divorce, which was the right thing to do. I am not I can be that man for her. She wants someone who will treat her well and make her feel important. Just be honest, work hard, and love my son. If that's not enough for you, it wasn't meant for us to be together. Also, Silas, I've been in charge of visits once a week, for I teach him what you taught me about plants in those 2 hours. To be honest and do work with your hands. That should be all of it. That he knew his dad tried his best, even though he wasn't perfect. Vivian said, "Get better. Darius, we're proud of how far you've come, and we thank you." He said, "I want to give you something. Not a gift, but a chance. Lay the papers out on the table. This is a contract for a special program. You will work on it. Chilacias will teach you everything you need to know about the business from the ground up. Also, we'll let you run one of the nurseries if you're good for 3 years. A small one, but you can run it with help. And if you do well, you'll get bigger one day. Even if it wasn't most of it, you could own what you worked hard for. By showing that people can trust you. But am I added, it's not happening by itself. It's not forgetting what happened when you forgive someone. It's a chance to grow. A new kind of relationship based on mutual respect, hard work, and to be honest, Darius was crying and I don't know what to say. Pick a path and follow it. I agree with everything. I'm going to prove to you, Dad, that it was worth it. I can be the son I should have been. I want you to be the son you should have been, instead of the son you are now. To become the person you want to be. This is what makes them unique. My friendship with Darius grew over the next 2 years. Wasn't like they were before they were father and son. France, that bridge is gone, but we built something new. Good friends who looked out for each other, and slowly, very slowly, something like Darius did well. He ran the nursery that became the most. He used everything he could, not because he was cheap. They learned how to care, how to make things better, and how to respect workers. And Silas. On the weekends, Silas went to nursery school to learn from his dad, and he planted seeds with his grandfather, grew, and became a child who valued honesty, hard work, and effort. For our second wedding anniversary, we had a family dinner. Silas and Marcus were with Darius's mom. The 3 kids played together, and 2 cousins got to know each other and became close. Vicky asked me, "Did you ever think this would happen?" I told her that I had. When I was sitting in that park on Christmas, I thought my life was over. I felt like I had nothing left. Now I understand that endings are just hidden beginnings. Losing everything teaches you what's important, and family isn't always blood. It's a choice, a job, and love on purpose. Did you let Darius off the hook? I chose to accept what happened, and I don't think I will ever do that again. To stop dwelling on the past and start something new. That's all. Vivian kissed me. I love you. Thank you for being kind, smart, and just being yourself. I love you too. Because you let me be that man, saw potential where others saw trash, and picked me even though I had nothing to offer but dirt under my nails. I was picked up when I had nothing to offer but dirt under my feet. Nails and love in my heart. Marcus ran over and started singing happily. We can eat the strawberries now. I then told him, let's go, and I grabbed him. Vivian took the other hand, and the 3 of us walked to our garden. The garden where it all began. A spot where a hurt man found meaning. A spot where a lonely person felt at home. The mother found a way for a child who couldn't hear to find his voice. We had grown together in the flower-filled area where we had planted the strawberries while we ate them. Putting things in the ground helped me understand something. We had dirt under our nails and smiles on our faces. Simple. Banks don't really hold wealth. That's where it is. At times like these. In picking a family, doing good work, giving second chances, earned love that grows every day like a garden with care and time and a lot of work. If this story makes any sense to you, please let me know. You can start over if you need to. From the ashes of your old life, you can always make something beautiful. On Christmas, your son threw me out of my house. It took away everything I had and left me with nothing. Went to a fancy house and showed me something that cash could never buy. Real love, a reason to live, and a family that you choose to be a part of, not one that you have to. My son had to lose everything too. Find out what I learned. The value of a person is not in what they have, but they are in the work they do, how honest they are, and how good they are at what they do to make a difference. He died in Atlanta, Georgia at age 62. And a life that's fuller than ever. I hope you have the strength to start over when you need to. Someone who is brave enough to give someone a second chance when they deserve it, and the power to make something real. Lovely. And that I wasn't having a place to live at Christmas, but I found a place to live, a family, and a reason to stay alive. If I can do it, so can you. You just need to be determined to get up, plant new seeds, and wait. Like a garden, things change all the time and become something beautiful. They will bloom if you give them the right conditions. Things happen that no one saw coming. and conditions start from the deepest losses. Every Christmas, even the saddest ones, but there is always hope. You have a chance to grow. A new season is coming. All you need is believe, work, and love. Everything else will work out. What did you think of the story? If you listened all the way through, leave a number 1 in the comments. You can help me out by giving a small tip and liking the video. Click the link below to follow my channel and see more live stories like this one. Check them out. I added 2 new stories that everyone loves. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time.